So my wife tasked me with organizing the mess that I had of vegetables, root vegetables, and some onions in my pantry. And I came up with a couple solutions, but I wanted to share with you what I found because I bought a couple different ones because, you know, I wanted to see what was different and what was better and what wasn't better. So these are the two that I chose after looking at probably 30 or 40 different brands online. But so the plastic kind of acrylic container that I have here on my left does a couple things that I think is a little better than the wire baskets here. Number one is that they're sealable. They're not sealable, but they're coverable so that they do stack a little bit higher. Like if I was to get 6 or 8 of them, I could probably stack them up quite well. There's a little bit of a ridge that would give us the ability to stack them. The second thing they do is, like, take for instance onions where we get the little peel that comes off. This doesn't end up on the pantry floor. This would end up in the acrylic container, which I actually think is a better thing for things like onions and garlic and some other things that have dirt on them and things like that. Because this on the wire side is obviously that dirt's just going to fall through. So that's kind of the pros and cons that I have here. I mean, size-wise, these come in a couple different sizes. This is sort of the size that I chose, but you can get them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. So if you're smaller, you could probably fit your garlics and your ginger so that they would be in your pantry as well in a dark, kind of cooler area. So on to the second one, which is more of a wire basket. Easier to ship. Obviously, they come in a smaller package, which is nice. And then they come with this plastic lid. Now, so with the wire basket, obviously you get air circulation, so you have the ability for the vegetables to get more air through, which I would assume that if your pantry gets hot, let's say in the summertime, this might get more condensation in there from the sweating of the vegetables. This is gonna get more airflow. So these plastic lids though, they don't fit. They just kind of sit on top. So they just kind of rattle around. So if I had, let's say I had my full, because I think I could probably fit about 8, maybe 10 pounds of potatoes in here. I mean, this lid's gonna move around. So I think that having that lid moving around probably isn't the greatest thing for holding this. But what I do like here is they do have a couple handles and they do have some feet. So that's gonna give you air circulation through the bottom and the top. So as I was discussing before with the acrylic, it's going to take all of the onion peel and stuff like that, and this is going to fall through the wire mesh, which is going to end up on the bottom of the floor in your pantry, which probably isn't exactly what you wanted. Simple to put together, slightly bigger in terms of size, so they're going to hold a little bit more in terms of vegetables, your root vegetables and your onions and stuff like that. You know, they do have a separate one where you can partition so that if, let's say you had garlic on one side, you wanted to have onions on the other side. I don't think there's an issue with them touching. The issue would be more of just kind of cleaning up and making sure they're organized. So just a simple way to organize your pantry so that you're not in a position where you have bags of vegetables that we get, the root vegetables that we get from the store, or plastic bags that we get from the store that have those breathable holes in them that are sitting on the bottom of your pantry and just laying there to have to clean up. So that's about it. Yeah.
Those ones are collapsible.
Sure, yeah, these, as my cameraman just said, these are collapsible. So if I ever had to put these away, like let's say I didn't want them because I only had a certain amount of root vegetables in the wintertime or the summertime, or however you can keep that, probably more the wintertime, you just collapse them, they would fold down, and then this lid would sit right on top to make it so that it's probably about less than a ½ an inch wide, so which is a great storage or a great alternative for storage. The difference would be here is that these two fit inside each other, so you could actually store them within each other, but you couldn't lay them flat down, so that you would obviously have a better storage solution there. So just an easy storage solution for your root vegetables. Again, we'd probably collect them through the summertime, have them in the wintertime, have an ability to store them, and then leave them there for a period of time.
If you were buying more, which ones would you buy?
And so if I was buying more, because I do have to buy a couple more because I've decided that I want to kind of skimp down, I think I am going to go with the plastic ones, only because of the lack of the ability to keep some of this stuff that's on the bottom. But that being said, I think the plastic ones on top of here, if I could get these so they settle down, if I do 2 wires and then have the 2 plastics, maybe that's more of a solution. So I could put maybe garlic and ginger and some other root things that I would have in there, and then different types of potatoes that I would have for the winter season.